my insane ghost story, and the rabbit hole I went down searching for a man. Part 2. Hello and welcome back. This is the second part of my unhinged ghost story, so without further ado, let's get to it. On Tuesday, day after Mr. Fatty left, I received only one text from him saying that he made it and that he's in a hospital with his family. On Wednesday, I texted him again, but there was no reply. So I called, but no one picked up. On Thursday, I was getting really nervous. I tried calling him several times, even from other phones. I sent him several messages asking him to confirm that he is okay. Still no reply. Something really bad must have happened to him, I thought. I was a wreck. How did I get here? Just a few days before, I was wondering if I even liked him. I was worried I might break his heart, and now I find myself petrified that I might have lost him. I kept reliving every minute of the last weekend and ruminating, driving myself crazier with each passing minute. I was unable to focus on anything other than finding him. I was so nervous that I could not sleep either. Then suddenly I remembered something. While I was in the shower on Monday, he used my computer for about 10 to 15 minutes. I opened for him a browser that I never used. So whatever is saved in the history, it's only his activity. So I went to check the browsing history, and it seemed like he booked a room in one of the Hilton hotels. However, the details of the booking were not visible to me. I couldn't see which exact hotel, or the dates, or even the city. My immediate thought was that he probably wanted to surprise me and take me on a trip somewhere right before the news of the accident broke out. Damn it. Friday was pure torture. I kept thinking of ways to check that he was alive. There was no reason for him to disappear like that. He didn't have WhatsApp, and the messenger didn't exist back then. It wasn't so easy to see if someone was recently active online, like it is now. I knew for a fact he was in trouble, and he needed me. I kept going through local news websites, Googling his name. I even called a few hospitals. None of these led to any breakthrough. I started considering traveling back to Beirut, but I was between jobs at the time and had barely any money left. The next day, I was in so much pain and stress, I knew I could not go on another day like this. It had to be resolved that day, so I got an idea. Back when I traveled alone to Lebanon, Mr. Fatty gave me 3 phone numbers for his close relatives: an uncle, a cousin, and his brother, in case I'm in trouble. I still had all 3 numbers, and I was ready to use them. I decided to go to yoga classes first, to get some peace of mind, maybe some clarity. When I feel horrible, exercising is the quickest and easiest way to feel a bit better. Right before the classes, I texted him one last time. I wrote, "Dear X, I don't know why you wouldn't reply to me. I think the only explanation is that something bad has happened to you. Please let me know if you're okay, otherwise I will have no choice but to call your family members to see if they know anything about your whereabouts." After the class ended, I anxiously picked up my phone. No reply. One more proof that something went seriously wrong. There is no way he would let me drag his family into our relationship drama if he wasn't in some sort of trouble. After I got back home, I topped up my Skype credits and started dialing. First stop, the uncle. The uncle did not shed any light on the matter. He hadn't seen Mr. Fatty in years and didn't know anything about any accident. Then I called the cousin. Same story, he had nothing more to add. I felt like I was making a fool of myself, calling people who had no idea who I was, having to explain why I was calling, and I still wasn't getting any closer to the truth. Damn it. In fact, I felt like I had more questions than answers. Okay. I swallowed nervously and dialed the brother's number. Now, I wasn't sure how to navigate that conversation. For all I knew, he and his wife were going through something horrible. I couldn't, however, directly ask about his son's health. It's such a sensitive matter, and I'm a stranger to him. I started the same way, introducing myself as Mr. Fatty's close friend. I explained that I was worried, as I hadn't been able to get a hold of him for days, and that I believed he was in Lebanon. The brother seemed just as surprised as the uncle and cousin. He was very understanding and started getting very worried about his brother. Also, from what I gathered, I interrupted him on quite a busy day at his resort, which he owned with his wife. He confirmed that he hadn't spoken to his brother in days. From what I gathered, his kids were all right too, thank God. I put on my tinfoil hat. Okay, what the hell am I missing? At this point, it was becoming blatantly clear that A, Mr. Fatty did not travel to Lebanon, so where the hell is he? B, there was no accident involving the nephew. Who lies about stuff like that? C, he was clearly ghosting me, but why? Then it suddenly dawned on me, Mr. Fatty had his favorite taxi driver, who he always asked for. That guy picked him up from the airport every time he came to visit, and he would also pick him up from my place many times after our dates. A couple of times I called him, since I had a local number and it was much cheaper for me. I scrolled through the call history back to early June, and there it was. I hesitated, then made a call that completely changed the course of my investigation. The guy picked up the phone, recognized me as Fatty's friend, and said he saw him twice this week in the center of my town, once on Tuesday and once on Thursday. He also said he didn't take him to or from the airport in the last couple of days. Wow, it looks like he just never even left the city. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was so enraged, without thinking twice about it, I hopped on my bike and rode as fast as I could to the nearest Hilton hotel, which was only 2 kilometers away. There, at the reception, no one would confirm or deny if he was staying there. Damn those privacy policies. I had to resort to lying, or rather, saying half-truths. At that time, I wasn't the only one worried and trying to get a hold of this fucker. I managed to rally up all his close relatives, and they were all trying to reach him and getting worried too. So I said to the receptionist that I was looking for this person, as his family was worried about him and asked me for help. Then I showed him a picture on my phone and asked if he had seen him recently. The receptionist turned completely pale. Her face told me everything I needed to know. She couldn't officially confirm anything, and she asked me to wait outside while she tried to get a hold of her manager. It was a warm summer evening, and that poor manager had to stop whatever she was doing and come to the hotel to deal with the situation I created. Yet another person dragged into this drama. She went to Mr. Fatty's room and then came back to talk to me. She said the room was empty, but the laptop was still warm, and it really looked like he was okay and had just gone out. I knew exactly where to look for him. He would literally always visit and take me to the same 3 places. All of them in the central area, within minutes of each other. First stop, an Egyptian bar which was always empty and had really loud music. I started talking to the bartender, a young woman in her early 20s. Oh, Mr. Fatty, yes, he was here on Monday night, but I haven't seen him since. Is he okay? Then I ran into an Italian restaurant, delicious food, always busy. It took me a few minutes to scan all the tables. Nothing. He was not there. Last but not least, another restaurant with dozens of seats outside. It was a really busy night, and there was also some sort of market going on right next to it. I was not in the right mind when I approached that place. I was beyond frantic, furious, and enraged. And I didn't even stop to think what I would do if I actually found him. There was one thing weighing heavily on me and fueling my erratic behavior. The guilt I felt about that kiss I shared with someone on the beach in Lebanon. I figured Mr. Fatty must have learned about it, and that would explain his behavior now. I could still apologize and explain myself, say that I just felt really lonely and that it didn't mean anything to me. And so maybe, just maybe, there is still hope for us. I wiped the tears coming down my cheeks, and as I was passing the outside seating area of the restaurant, I scanned each and every face until I found the one I immediately recognized. Staring back at me from behind his stupid glasses that were not one bit flattering was the one and only Mr. Fatty. To be continued.